Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video, and today's Monday. So I don't usually trade No News Monday, but I decided to look on the charts because for some reason we had decent volatility. So this is pre-CPI, CPI is tomorrow, so I was very skeptical on whether price action was going to deliver cleanly. So I was just very skeptical on whether I wanted to actually execute a trade. And so this is what my chart looks like after a trade and what I saw and everything. So let's just start from market open. So let me just clean this up for y'all. So immediately on market open, the market pumps 150 points up. So I didn't know how the market genuinely wanted to be after. I didn't know if it wanted to chop around, continue higher. So I decided I wanted just to sit on my hands, wait for something clear because I don't usually execute well on Mondays. So I was just going to let price action do its thing. What I wanted to see, and this was a very key level for me on what price wanted to do here, was how it was going to tap and react from this 5-minute first percentage for value gap. So we can see, hold up, let me just adjust. We can see we get a tap into this 5-minute, and this could have been first trade off of this 5-minute continuation longs up to this internal high. But the reason I didn't like that is because we just had this big move up. I didn't know how price wanted to deliver still continue to go long. So I was just kind of patient here. I was fine if price ran without me here. So it went up, continued to go higher. I wanted to see this internal high be some sort of reaction because we didn't deliver well here. It wasn't very clean delivery. So I was just kind of skeptical on whether it wanted to come take out this all-time highs or shoot down for this external low. So I was then just looking for some way for the market to actually verify it wanted to go lower. And once we had this sort of choppiness and ES was the stronger asset, once ES started to slow down up in here, I knew immediately once ES slowed down, the NQ was going to dump because it was so weak and it wasn't delivering up to these all-time highs very cleanly. So I wanted to see this for sure get taken and then this for sure get taken as well. So I zoomed in on the 30-second and I wanted to see some sort of displacement out of this 1-minute change in the state. I wanted to see clean displacement out because as traders, we don't want to get caught up in this chop right here. I wanted to see some sort of clean displacement, retest, and then continuations for a market maker sell model. So I looked in the 30-second. I wanted to see some sort of move lower and then some sort of retest just to give me a better entry for a risk to reward. So we get this displacement. I want to see some sort of retest immediately after we got this candle and it was starting to move bearish. I wanted to take a shorts here. I took a shorts like right here. I was barely in drawdown. Put these stop up to this recent swing high, and I targeted all the way down to this low right here. Why did I target this low and not this low or this sell side level? Because I drew out my standard deviation levels after we took out some sort of liquidity, and it lined up with this low here to the tick. So I was going to target this low. I wanted to see for sure this get hit and then we could see some reversal to go higher. But I think I took first partials half of my position off here just to have a winning day for my funded account. I went in 10 micros here relates to 1 mini. So immediately we got the pump lower and I took half of my position off here. So I'm running now 5 micros. And we continued just to move lower. We managed to take out this sell side low. And this was another trade if I was trying to take another trade, but immediately after we hit this, I hopped off the charts. There's no reason for me to look for another trade. There was this one. We had an inversion. We had a change in the state. I would have took my longs here if I was looking for another trade. Stop at this recent body candle low. And then target maybe like OTE of this range. Because when the market is bearish, especially near all-time highs, you want to see some sort of retrace back into either discount of the range or premium of the range or OTE of the range. So that's what I was kind of aiming for if I would have took this trade. and see we end up hitting it. So I would have put my take profit here, and we hit it. So that would have been another trade I would have possibly taken. I didn't take it because it wasn't very clean for me to actually take it. And this would be a turtle sweep of internal buy side or sell side, and then find the external draws and liquidity. So here was a market maker buy to a market maker sell model. We stayed deep inside of the range. Like if you looked at the 15-minute, you can see that all of market open was very into this range. So this is very low probability, but with such high volatility, you could go in with lower size and manage to catch a cleaner trade. But like this move right here is 100 points. When you have 100 points as a trader, you need to adapt to what the market environment, because this is much higher volatility on Mondays than we actually have usually. So you could definitely go lower size. I went one mini still, and this was about 112 points. So I was very happy with this trade. Delivered very cleanly. I think this was like 6 minutes. So as traders, we need to understand when and when not to take a trade. If you didn't catch any sort of win today, you need to come back, look at the charts, and verify why didn't you have a win? Why did you take a losing trade? Why did you blow your account? Because I waited the start of market open. I waited 54 minutes to take a trade. And as traders, I don't want to be in this range of liquidity. I want to have some sort of external liquidity get taken before I even hop into a trade. But I was in the trade when the external low got taken. That's the difference. Because if you're sitting in this range and you target a low, like if you take shorts here, for example, if you take shorts here, stop at the high, and you want to target this low, it won't work out because we're still sitting inside of this range. You need to see some sort of liquidity get swept in order for us to go long. The reason I didn't take these longs here is because the delivery was very poor. As you can see, move up, chop, move up, chop, move up. And the reason I wanted to see some sort of dump is because ES was the only reason NQ was being held up. So immediately once I knew ES would have some resistance, I knew NQ would dump at least to some internal low. He managed to take the external low, but this was pretty low hanging fruit, especially for 111 points. So this was the trade. I think I made 1.2K on this. So don't usually trade No News Mondays, but the volatility was very, very high. So I thought I would take a stab at this.